Bernardo, was that a good professional job that takes you to the top of the table?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely a very good job in the first half, especially. I think the team started very well the game, controlling the possession, creating chances, not allowing them to counter-attack, which is what we try to do every game. And yeah, we scored two in the first half. We should have scored more. First half again, we started well, and then with 3-0 we tried to control the game. Last few minutes were not as good as the beginning of the game and the beginning of the second half. But yeah, very happy, top of the league. On to the next one.
What does that mean to be top of the league at this point in the season?
Well, it's always better to be top of the league than second or third or fourth. But it's still a beginning, not even halfway through. So a lot of work to do, but yeah, we're happy to be top of the league. But it's so close there. Liverpool is just 1 point behind us. Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, 2 points behind us. And lots of games to play, lots of games to win. But of course it's better to be in our position than not to be on the top.
The competition at the top, do you think it is so tight it just shows you cannot afford to slip up anywhere at any point this season?
Yeah, definitely. Liverpool and Tottenham, Liverpool and Chelsea, they're doing an amazing season. It's been tough for us. It's going to be tough for them and for us to compete with each other. We know that the level and the standards are very high. We have to do our job. We know how tough it is to win this league, to win the most competitive league in the world, and we're going to try and do our best as we always do.
The leading goal scorer in the Premier League for Manchester City, 7 so far this season. Comfortably outscoring yourself from last season. Mm-hmm. What's changed?
Well, I don't know. I always try to do my job the best I can. Happily this season I've been scoring a lot. I'll try to keep it that way. Honestly, it doesn't matter who scores. Last season, for example, Gundo was scoring a lot. This season I'm scoring. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we're top of the league now. The team is playing very well at the moment. We're in good form. We have to keep it that way because at the end of the season we want to celebrate some titles.
For so long during his time at Manchester City, the one thing many people spoke about was Bernardo Silva's work rate as part of this Pep Guardiola team. Now he's adding goals, and in abundance, almost similar to Ilkay Gundogan this time last season.
Yeah, I think he's their most undroppable player. I think if Pep had to pick one player to play every game for the rest of the season, it'd be him. I think he's just that important to the team. Maka mentioned the positions that he's playing now, but he actually can play off the right, he can play as a 10, he can play off the left, false 9, in both central midfield positions, as a 10 or as an 8. So it's amazing, really, the flexibility that he has. I mean, I think, outside of Mo Salah, I think he's the best player in the Premier League. And Mo's playing out of this world good, but yeah. Bernardo Silva is a joy to watch.
Yeah. It's incredible, Steve, to think that actually he was on his way out at one point of the Etihad in the summer. Or reportedly.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he wasn't happy. It's difficult because the position he's been playing over the last couple of years, as I mentioned before, with Foden, with Sterling, with Mahrez, every one of them has been through times when they haven't played, so they probably have not been happy. And your objective as a professional footballer is to try and play every single game, really. Yeah. I know it's hard nowadays with the amount of games you play and the size of the squads. So you could see why he was probably frustrated at times. This year, as Owen rightly said, he's undroppable. He's the first name on the sheets now, in the middle of the park, playing really well. And when you've got Gundogan and Rodri, and now De Bruyne is coming back, there's a real problem there. Who's not going to play? Because you don't want to suddenly say, well, we need to fit them in. Bernardo, you go and play wide right or wide left, because he is so effective now in the centre of the park. So it's put pressure on. Does De Bruyne come back into the team? Because 6 months ago or last year, De Bruyne was the first name.
You'd take it as a given, wouldn't you?
Well, of course you would. Yeah. But now that little triangle of Rodri, Gundogan and Bernardo Silva is working wonders.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, before the number 10 used to be, it was Mesut Ozil. They kind of played in that way, or Juan Mata, or it was that type of player that was kind of the flair player. And they didn't really press the ball. They didn't really work hard out of possession. Now, you can't do that anymore. The modern 10 now, Coutinho at Liverpool. Now, if you want to play in the top teams, you have to work hard off the ball. And Bernardo is unbelievable at that. He's a bit like N'Golo Kante, but as a number 10. That's how good he is out of possession. That's why he always plays. And I think that's the way football's going. You look at the top teams, you have to work. It's all about intensity. It's about the press. And Bernardo gives that every game.
But, we speak about how him and Mo Salah right now are the informed players in the Premier League. We've been waxing lyrical for so long about Mohamed Salah. Does he get the credit he deserves?
Probably not, because most of the time, goal scorers get the credit. And we're really only talking about Bernardo Silva because he scored goals. You know, he suddenly elevated himself to a different level because of, yes, the way he's been playing, and Manchester City have been winning games, but also because he scored wonderful goals. And if you scored a couple of great goals, which he did in midweek and he has done tonight, suddenly people start noticing you, and people from other teams start noticing you. If you just read, oh, Manchester City have won 2-1 and, you know, Sterling and Foden scored, you wouldn't necessarily focus on how well Bernardo Silva has played.
No.
But he's been excellent all year round. Throwing, he's scored really important, vital goals in important times. And he's suddenly gone from here to actually Bernardo Silva's the start of the team.
Well, let's have a look at the first of his 2 goals this evening. I think it's fair to say the goalkeeper, Daniel Bachmann, might have made things a little bit easier for him.
Yeah, I think he probably just, you know, loses his position for a second. It can happen because City just kind of overwhelm you. And to be fair, the goalkeeper was their best player. He was brilliant. Made so many good saves. And I think because the position he's in, and we'll see it from the other angle, Danny Rose had a tough day, by the way. Really, really tough day. I mean, there's so much space down his side. He kept trying to go win the ball, and you see that space down that right-hand side for City to run into. And Bernardo and Raheem, they exploited it. But Maka, this is the angle probably just after this one on Bachmann, where he just leaves the goal. He leaves the near post.
He nearly got an assist there, Bernardo Silva. But yeah, that's, you know, I think he just lost his bearings, didn't he, the goalkeeper? He makes a great save. He's up, he's panicking, he's trying to get back into the goal. And then he just leaves a huge space in that near post for him to roll it into.
Is that a huge space from that angle? Is that a better finish than it should? Than it actually?
I mean, we're not goalies, and goalies hate when football players talk about goal
near post.
I think you're supposed to
cover it,
and then if it goes between your legs, it goes between your legs.
I mean,
it goes in the roof
it's
of the
not
net.
a hard finish. That, you know, the gap was sufficiently good enough.
It was inviting, shall we say?
Yeah, and you see where the goalkeeper's leaning. He's leaning towards his right anyway, so that space is always on. And, you know, a man of Bernardo's quality is always just going to roll it in there, no problem at all.
Yeah. Well, if that was a pretty straightforward finish, according to these guys, the second one was quite sublime, wasn't it?
He's honestly, the thing I like about Bernardo Silva is, as good as he is technically, he makes quick decisions. He does it sharp. He knows exactly what he wants, comes out wide to get into a little 1v1. I don't know why Danny Rose lets him onto his left. But once he comes inside there, the ball's only going in one position, and that's in the side netting. It's just, he makes it look so easy when it's not.
Grealish is quite slow with the ball, Owen, isn't it? But Bernardo's got one thing in his mind: drive, shift, onto his left foot. Acres of space. Danny Rose does a full pirouette and can't get anywhere near him. He has to just show him down this side of the pitch towards the byline. As soon as you let him come inside with loads of space like that. I mean, that finish was sublime, that one.
It's a good point about, you know, Jack. Jack's a fabulous player. But he takes a lot of touches every time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
And he probably should have had at least 3, 4 goals today. But the problem is he's taking a lot of touches, whereas, you know, the other players, they get it, 1, 2, bang, you know, and it's in the net. And I think that's where Jack can take less touches in and around the box. I think that's why he plays central today. Because when he plays off the left, he takes a lot of touches. Today, he had a good impact on the game, but he should have scored.
What did you think of his performance today, Jack Grealish's?
I thought it was okay. I mean, today's game, it should be okay because they were so much better than Watford.
Yeah.
But he needed to score today, didn't he? He had 3, 4 great chances. It was a bit hit and miss, but the game itself was really easy. One of these, I mean, this should have been a goal. Of course it should have been a goal. It's easy saying that. Even this one, he gets in the right positions. That should be a goal as well. And, you know, we could be talking about Jack Grealish getting a hat-trick today and him being the star of the show. Instead, he got a little bit frustrated, slowed the game up at times. It just didn't happen for him.
I thought he did that well, Maka, didn't he? He dropped deep and linked the play, and then the other boys kind of flooded, whether Raheem and Bernardo or Gundogan was very far forward at times. So I think it shows his intelligence where he can do that and drop deep. But I think Pep's trying to find a role for him in this team because obviously Phil Foden's flying, Bernardo Silva's flying, and they want to get Jack Grealish firing. They want to get his goals up because we all know the talent's there. But I thought it was a good wrinkle to play central today. He just would have wanted a goal to show for his decent performance.
But that can't be his long-term position, can it, down the middle? Because you expect City to go after a striker in January, so then where does it leave him in his best position?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You know, that is what Manchester City are all about, and that's what Pep is always wanting. He always wants competition for places, wherever you are on the pitch, whether you're wide left, wide right, and Jack can play in those positions, all centrally. There's 2 or 3 players who can also play that role. He has been injured and he's getting back, and today was a nice game for him to play an hour and then come off, but he's going to have to improve because you can't keep playing him in the sides when Bernardo's playing well and Silva's back and Sterling's back and De Bruyne's back. You know, Ferran Torres, so somewhere down the line, somebody's not going to play. And you just have to make sure.
Could it be Grealish?
Well, yeah, you just have to make sure it's not you. Yes, that's
he won't play
point.
I don't think he'll play in the big games.
No, I think if it was the biggest game of the season tomorrow, he wouldn't play.
No.
But hang on, you just spent £100 million
Doesn't
on
matter.
it.
Yeah, but Mac is right. Look, De Bruyne is on the bench. Mahrez is on the bench. You know, Jack will play if he gets his numbers up.
Right.
If he scores and creates every game like Bernardo Silva, like Fofana, he'll play. But the problem is Jack's numbers aren't there like Phil and Bernardo Silva, and that's why they play. Pep always says, if you play well, you play. You know, if you score and you get the numbers, which you do in the front three, you'll play. But his talent's there, but if he plays in those positions, you've got to get the numbers, and the numbers aren't there like the other players.
And he's not scared, is he? The manager's not scared to drop anyone in his team. Doesn't care whether it's Raheem Sterling, who cost £50 million, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, which is probably the equivalent of £100 million now. De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez. It doesn't matter how much you cost. You play well, you're in the team. You don't play well, you're out the team. And he's ruthless like that, the manager, and you have to be.
Well, look, the more you see Jack Grealish play, and start today was his 10th start in the Premier League, do you think he was a Pep Guardiola signing or not?
Had to have been.
Yeah.
Had to have been.
Yeah.
You spend £100 million on someone.
If he can't fit in the framework...
Well, it takes time. Every
takes
player
time
that's
to
come
get
into
into the
Pep's
system,
team took
doesn't it?
time. Everyone.
Okay.
Every player that comes in, I think, takes time. I think he'll figure it out, Jack. He's a fabulous player. But he gives them something different, whereas the others, you know, pass and move, pass and move.
Yeah.
Jack is, maybe they wanted that dribbler type, but, you know, he's still playing like he did at Villa, where he takes a lot of touches. I don't think he needs to anymore. I think if he does it really quick, 2 and 3 touches, he'll get at least 10 goals, 10 assists.
Yeah, I mean, he joined Manchester City for £100 million in August. You know, of course, it was before that, but after the European Championships, he starts pre-season July, August. It's in December. You know, I'm the same. I think he's a fabulous player and he will improve because he's playing with better players. He just needs to get up to speed of the Manchester City way and how they play and how quickly they move the ball. And it's all about speed when you're playing at the very, very highest level.
Will you talk about the improvement that Pep Guardiola's had on many of those City players, including Raheem Sterling, who notched up Premier League goal 99 today after 4 minutes, where you could well argue City could have been 3-0 up already.
Yeah, Raheem looked really sharp. And that's the thing, you know, when you play, you got to take your chance, and Raheem did. You know, we know Phil Foden, he always takes his chance when he plays. But I thought, again, it was Danny Rose. It was tough for him. He was overloaded. You know, he wins it there, brings it back into play. You know, then tries to get back in, and then he just leaves Raheem Sterling. You know, and they're good at this. You know, they flood the box. There's 4 in there. He's in at the back post. Danny Rose switches off, and it's a good finish. And I thought Raheem looked really sharp. And I think when you play in the wide areas, you've got to look sharp. You've got to be explosive. And, you know, the end product as well. What was that, 99 Premier League goals?
99.
Amazing. Big achievement.
So, 7th straight win in all competitions for Manchester City. Let's get the thoughts then of the City boss. Here is Pep Guardiola.
Pep, what's your assessment of your team and that performance today?
Yeah, a tough month we played and we finished this one, and a really good performance. We missed a lot of chances. Hopefully next time we will convert.
Were you getting frustrated during the start of the game when you were getting so many chances?
No, yeah, of course you're disappointed because the game should be over quicker. But we are in the routine, I would say, or in the level that they are consistent the way we play. When that happens, you can never be frustrated. So, football, the most difficult thing is put the ball in the net, in the last pass, the last action. That's the most difficult thing in football. And but the way we play was really good again.
What did you like in particular about the way you played today?
Everything. We know that we should adapt for the long ball, second balls, not let them run, because in the counter-attack we saw the games against United and Chelsea and even Leicester that they create a lot of chances running. They didn't run much. And our game was really good, and we found the players when we believe we could find them, and we scored 3 beautiful goals, and we could score more.
You said in the week, I think, that Bernardo Silva right now is the best player in the league in terms of his form. What is he adding to his game with the goals he's getting as well?
No, I want to say thank you, because after what I said, with the performance again he has done, he didn't make me wrong. So, thank you. He did it well. So, yeah, as a player can play in many positions. He's so smart, so intuitive, and now he's scoring goals, winning games. So, this is so important for us as well.
You said you had lots of chances. Jack Grealish had 4 or 5. When you took him off, you said something to him that seemed to make him laugh, seemed to make him smile. What did you say to Jack Grealish when you took him off?
No, he said I said that he enjoyed in this position, touching the ball. And he said yes, he enjoyed playing in that position. That's good. The creative players, when playing in the middle, have more touch, more in contact with the ball. Is good, and but still is a little bit away from his best condition. He was 10 days, 15 days or 20 days off, so he needs rhythm, but his 60 minutes was good for him.
Do you think that's a position you could use him more often in that central role?
No, it depends on his performance. Because Phil can play there. In the 5 minutes Phil played there was incredible. Good he played. The same we play Bruges. That Phil has the special ability to play in this position. But we have players can play in different positions. Gabriel inside, outside, so important is everybody knows in the position he has to play. They know exactly what they have to do for the benefit for the team.
Perhaps the only negative today was it looked like an injury to Gabriel Jesus. How bad is that injury? He carried on.
Well,
and you clearly weren't happy with it.
Absolutely, yeah. What happened in the last 5 minutes? He cannot play. He's out for the injury. Okay, he's orange. Maybe it's not yellow, maybe it's not red, maybe it's orange, but it's an action he goes, and after sometimes defender hug the opponent is red card. So, but hopefully it's just a knock, and he can play on Tuesday in Germany.
That win takes you to the top of the table for the first time this season. Is that significant in your mind?
No, anecdotic. It's better to be there, but we're going to draw points, and hopefully the opponents as well. Long road or path still for everyone, but it's better after the calendar we had. So we don't forget the week we had Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Liverpool all together, and after except Arsenal, all the top 6, top 7 were away this season in the first half, and we are consistent because away we are an incredible consistent team. In Etihad Stadium with other people we can, beat the contenders 6 up front. So we will be a chance for the last 5-6 games to fight for retain the title.
Thank you, Pep.
You're very welcome.
Interesting thoughts. What did you make of what Pep Guardiola had to say?
Yeah, he always nails it, to be fair. Again, we said about Jack, if Jack plays well, you play. But he kind of said Phil played as a centre-forward for 5 minutes and did incredible. And Jack had a good game, but if he scores 3, that has an incredible game. And that's what Pep wants. That's the levels that he... And Jack's going to have to get used to the expectation of playing in a team where if you don't play at your best... At Villa, he played every game, regardless. At City, he'll play every game if he plays world-class. And the talent's in there, but you also need the numbers to back it up. So he gave him a few little hints, I think, in that. The fact that he wants more from him, because the other guys give him more.
He'll have to demand more from him, won't he? Have to.
This is that question, wasn't it? He said, what was it you said to him which made him smile?
I didn't see him smile there.
Well, you will now, actually. You get back to him.
10 minutes later.
I think he said he enjoyed getting more touches.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you play in the wing, and I thought he linked the game really well. But if you're going to play as a number 9, I think Pep, we know he wants goals, doesn't he?
So. He also knows that they're not going to be playing this calibre of opposition every single week.
Yeah.
With all respect to Watford, the opposition will get better and better, and Jack will need to get quicker and quicker if he's playing against the Chelseas, the Liverpools as he goes up. So you can see he demands perfection, the manager, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So what about the title race? We've seen, I suppose, Liverpool toil to that win against Wolves in injury time. Chelsea, of course, losing in rather unexpected manner at West Ham. Manchester City put in by far the most convincing performance today. And it was this time last season that they powered up the table after a slow start. It already looks ominous in some respects, does it not, for them?
Yeah, I think we've got 3 parts of the league. We've got 3 top teams, and then kind of 4 to 7. There's a little gap, and then it there's a separate part. But I think for me, City are the best team I've seen so far this season.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Liverpool are very, very close. But I think if City played to their strengths, play their best football, I think they win it. But Liverpool have that mentality back, which I think is quite special, and they're scoring a ton of goals. So Chelsea will be right there too.
Yeah. Anything you've learned from the title race from today's games?
I don't think it's ominous, to be honest, because you can understand what happened last year. But I think if everybody stays fit, it'll be nice and close.
OK. As far as Watford's concerned, it's 6 defeats in 8 now for Claudio Ranieri. Let's hear from the Italian boss.
Claudio, what did you make of today?
Listen to me. If somebody some time ago told me, Claudio, against Manchester City, Chelsea and Manchester United, you will get 3 points, I sign immediately. We made 3 fantastic performances. We got 3 points. I'm satisfied. Today is a normal day. I have fantastic skills. Unfortunately, there are here in England only 3 change, because change one champion, arrive another champion. Change one champion, arrive another champion. And that's it. It's easier to win, no, sometimes. But I watch a good spirit. Down 3-0, we never give up. We react. We score a goal. Yes, we concede a lot counter-attack. But I saw a very good spirit. Together, commitment. Yes, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. Now, I to get a point. Now our Premier League starts now. We have to get a point.
So for him, the challenge starts from today. 6 points from 9 games. But in that time that he's been at the helm, he's already played 5 of the top 7. Do we need to take that into account right now, Steve?
Possibly, but they still need to improve. They need more performances like the second half, because if they play like they did in the first half, even against the likes of Newcastle or Burnley, they could concede goals. I'm not saying they'd lose the games, but they could concede. So they have to channel what they did against Chelsea at the times and the Man United and put that into more of their performances. But they can't perform like they did in the first half, because those 6 last Premier League games, they got 3 points out of 18.
Yeah.
Arsenal were there, Southampton were there, so they can't afford just to worry about the top teams.
Do you expect a long season, a tough one now for Watford?
Yeah, I think they'll be in that, relegation battle. But the good thing is they're scoring more under Claudio. I think against Everton they got 5, against United they got 4.
Yeah.
Scored today. They're scoring some goals, so I think that's a good thing. They probably have the best attack that's down in that relegation battle. And I think with Ranieri's experience, I think they'll stay up.
I suppose if there's one thing that's going to be key, is to keep Emmanuel Dennis fit.
Yeah.
For as long,
Yeah,
for
and
as long as
Hernandez,
he's been a revelation this
Yeah,
season.
he's been a revelation. And Hernandez, who came on, looked really sharp. They just need more consistency. And that goes for the 5 teams at the bottom of the league at the moment. Consistency. If you can grind out 1-0 victories and just climb up that table, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and you think Josh King will get in on the act now and again?
Josh King is fantastic. Obviously, I think Sarr, another one of those players. Their front 3 is really, really good.
Yeah.
Explosive. So I think with that front 3, I think they'll be fine.
OK. We're going to have to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed to my 2 guests, Owen and Steve. It's been an incredible day at the top of the Premier League. Chelsea started top. They finish it 3rd, and it's City who are top of the pile. Bye for now.